Welcome into Inside Westside as we take a look at Wolverine football and we visit with Coach Bryan Pratt as we get ready for the Wolverines' trip to Springdale tonight to take on the Bulldogs. And Coach, being 1-0 in conference play hasn't happened in a while. A really impressive performance, I would say, by your team last Friday night against Fayetteville.
I think we played really well, and we came in with the purpose of being 1-0 in conference. You know, when you do that against a team that's third team in the state, and you do it in the fashion that we did, obviously there's a lot of people talking about it. But what we've got to do is make sure that we focus on the most important game, which is Springdale Bulldogs, a team that we had never lost to before in 8 years until last year, and so. We kind of said going into this year and all through all season, we talked about the revenge tour, and we were going to go on a tour where we were going to pay back all these people that made us, 0-6 last year, and this is just another one of those. And so I think our kids are motivated, and we got here by hard work. And it's the same team. I said in an interview the other day after the game, this is the same team. I mean, it's not like we had a bunch of transfers. People moved in. This is the same team from last year. It's just a bunch of kids that really bought into what we do and worked extremely hard to try to make themselves better. And obviously, it's showing in the way we play.
It's amazing to me how this team can you can be, 10, 14 point game, and all of a sudden it's 28 in a couple of minutes. The way your team creates turnovers and then they seem to always cash them in on the other side with points. That's something that's pretty special, isn't it?
It's fun to watch, and I kind of harp on our coaches all the time about you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen, and in a good way and in a bad way. We really try to practice and do things so they correlate to what we do in the game, and so I'm one of these coaches. I'm not real big on doing drills if I don't see it correlating to the way that they play on the field, and so we're doing drills. And I was just looking at some pictures from the Fayetteville game, and the first fumble cause was Gavin Cross coming in and making a tackle. And if I were to go out to practice every day and they're going through their tackling drills, it's textbook the way that we want them to tackle. And then while the ball's on the ground, it's our Wednesday fumble recovery, and it's in traffic. And Caden Powell falls on the ball in a fetal position and wraps it up and doesn't roll over, just like we coach him to do. And that's just one example of the things that we try to correlate with the way that we practice, the way we play, and our kids are buying into it, and we're playing hard. There's hats around the ball all up, and we talk at practice. If you come to practice, you're gonna hear us yell all the time about running to the football, and it's not just us to be yelling. It's because it causes turnovers. It causes us to be highly aggressive like we are right now, and I think that we're flying around like we haven't ever flown around before, and offensively we've always been able to score. But we haven't been able to play defense like we are right now. And hats up to my defensive staff. Coach Thompson and his staff is doing a phenomenal job, and we just got to continue doing it.
And one more thing, and then we'll talk about Springdale. But Trey's long touchdown run. What I mean, what are you thinking? What it was like? I haven't seen a play like that in a really long time here or
Uh,
really anywhere, honestly.
I'm like, he's open, throw the ball, and he doesn't throw the ball, and he starts running, and I'm like, just get the first down. And so I don't know if you noticed, but when he comes back across the field, he has the first down, and then he loses yards, and he doesn't have the first down. And I'm like, get the first down. And then when he comes around the end, and we talked about it in our meeting on Saturday when they came in with one of our game changers. We do 5 game changers. I put together 5 plays that we feel like made a difference in the game, and obviously a lot of them were positive this week, and one of them was that. But in the years past, some kid comes in and just tries to kill shot somebody and gets a 15-yard penalty. And I don't know if you notice Ryan Asham, he is running backwards with his hand up, just shielding the guy off. There's no penalty there, and just textbook football, being disciplined, doing what you're supposed to do, and Trey's playing phenomenal right now, and somebody's going to get a really good football player, and I don't think he's being recruited like he probably deserves, but that'll all pan out in the future.
So let's talk about Springdale. This is a unique challenge, the way they attack from an offensive standpoint. This is a game that I would think is about a lot of a discipline and not falling for the eye candy.
Yeah, it's assignment football, and do a good job of running. There's a lot of reads with it, and you got to make sure you play. Used to you'd say dive quarterback pitch. It's a little bit different variation of that, but it's still assignment football, and you got to do what you're supposed to do and take care of your job. And it all comes down to me right now is how good our scout team give us a look at the speed of the game, because it's unconventional for us. It's something we don't do a lot of, so we're really having to work with our scout team to try to simulate the speed. And we've even done it where we don't use the football and go through it and make everybody go to their assignment, just so they're not chasing the football. But it is a little different for us, and they're going to try to keep the ball away from us and try to eat up as much clock as possible, I'm sure, to keep the ball out of our offensive hand. But we just got to protect the ball and make sure that we create turnovers and like you said, take advantage of those opportunities and score points. And if you do that, it's going to be good.
All right, thank you, Coach, for the time. Good luck tonight.
I appreciate it.